So when I talk about getting hurt in childhood, sometimes people think it's like a really traumatic, abusive hurt. And, then they automatically think, well, that's not me. I wasn't abused as a child. In fact, my childhood was pretty great. And so I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep feeling so unhappy? Or I feel like I just keep repeating these same patterns, and that isn't me, and I don't need to go back to that place. And that's not it at all. I mean, yes, of course, sometimes people really did have traumatic things as a child and they know it, right? They do, they know it. And yeah, we can deal with that. We can go and deal with that. And that doesn't mean you have to be re traumatized. You have to go back all through the pain of the experience. But it does mean that something happened and pretending it didn't isn't helping your life, right? But let's deal with the people who they didn't have a horrible traumatic experience that they're aware of as a child, and they're still unhappy, and they're still like, I know life could be better and I don't get it. It doesn't have to have been like that. It could be something really unintentional that happened, and it was just painful. It was a painful experience to your little child you. As an adult, thinking back, it wouldn't make sense right now that you would be, wiped out by it. But as a little child, it really hurt you. And you shut down. You withdrew. Something happened that you disconnected from yourself. You protected yourself by shutting off the feeling, and you don't want to feel like that again. Something happened that made you think, I don't want this again. I don't want this again. And so you developed coping mechanisms. You formed a wall around yourself and developed strategies and coping mechanisms to deal with not feeling that feeling. It might be a feeling of powerlessness. It might be a feeling of shame. It might be a feeling of differentness or feeling less than. It might be a feeling of just being rejected in that moment. It doesn't mean that you feel like your parents or your friend or your coach or your grandparent or whoever it was, your teacher, rejected you forever. But in that moment, it was extremely painful. And you felt so unloved, unlovable, and rejected that you disconnected. And you're like, I don't ever want to feel like this again. Ever. I never want to feel like this again. And something happened within you that you made a subconscious decision, and I'm not going to. And so from that point, you began to live a different way. Before then, you were open, you were free, you were light, you were love, you were yourself in the world, just yourself in the world. And then at that moment, everything changed. Everything changed. And from that moment on, your life became about not feeling that feeling ever again. And everything you do and everything you say and every decision you make in your relationships, in your decisions around what risks you're going to take, in what jobs you're going to pursue, in what courses you're going to take, in how much success you're willing to have, in how exposed or vulnerable you're willing to be, is all structured around that moment, that decision. And you can change it. You can go back. You can go back to the place where you are yourself. You're free. You are love and light. And you no longer live disconnected and fearful all the time. The first place is to reconnect. Reconnect. You have to reconnect. You have to reconnect back to that place before that moment. And I can help you do that. And once you do that, then you are free. You're free to make your decisions about life differently. From a truth, from an authenticity, from a place of feeling truly safe, truly you, a place of that's how you live a life that has meaning. That's how you live a life that is more than just getting by and surviving. It's a life of joy and happiness and real feeling. It's a real life. So when you are ready to do that, please let me know and I can help you. I'm Fiona Bennett. I'm a life coach, educator, and energy healer. And let's reconnect. Find yourself, find your confidence, discover your power. So click on the link either below or above, and let's make that journey together.